Well, ladies and gentlemen, time for another walk and talk at Tunnel Springs in, I think it's North Salt Lake. But I don't really have anything to talk about except it's Halloween and I gotta get back to the house, I guess, pretty soon. But I'll think of something to talk about here. But a quick 360 is a beautiful evening. Uh, Beautiful mountains that I was hoping to. One day I'll climb these foothills with a partner, but I don't want to do it by myself. And I think I'll do a quick 360. It's gonna be hard to see out there with the sun behind my back. Salt Lake City down that way, but okay. I'll start walking back. Anyways, it's a Friday night. It's Halloween night, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh man, I wish I had some sports to watch tonight. But as it turns out, it looks like I think Game 6 of the World Series should be on the television tonight. Football. As for football, I'm in the mood for a BYU game, but I heard somewhere that there was a bye this week for BYU, and they probably won't be playing this Saturday or this Friday or this weekend at all. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate because I had a schedule that I looked up several weeks ago, and it looks like they had something scheduled for this week. But anyways, I guess things change. And so I'll have to find. I guess I can watch the. I don't know if I want to watch the whole game, but at least the highlights of the Game 6. And I'm rooting for LA Dodgers and for Shohei Ohtani, and I'm not sure if he's starting this game, but oh man, he's a fun player to watch. And quick note about watching baseball. I got in the habit of watching baseball when I started flying to Japan, and they would have major league games. I never watched the Japanese professional baseball. Not that it wasn't good, but I couldn't stand the noise. They're hollering and pounding on their noise makers throughout the whole game. And it's just so annoying I can't even stand to watch it. But Major League Baseball games were recorded, edited. They edited out the inning changes, and you could watch a full game in like 40 minutes. And it was so delightful. And then also on the Japanese television, U.S. is pretty much the same now too, but I never noticed it until I started watching in Japan. But oh my heavens, they have they have zeroed into the view of the pitcher, and you can see every pitch that he's throwing, the curve on it. You can also see the fingering on his hand, and learn about the different pitches, and you can learn about why. And I learned this first when I was an adult, a married adult, had children, and would go. I think it was one of the early versions of the Nintendo, and play baseball, the baseball game with my friend. And it was then that it dawned on me when I was pitching to him that I didn't always want to throw a strike because he could smack it out of the park, right? I'm trying to get ahead in the count, more strikes than balls, and then when I'm ahead in the count, I throw balls on purpose or screwballs or curveballs or put it in the dirt or whatever so that he cannot hit the ball. Okay, and then it dawned on me, oh my heavens. Hello. It dawned on me that there's more to this game than meets the eye. So, and then I went to Japan and started watching these Major League Baseball games, like 40 minutes for a whole game that was condensed down, the inning changes. And it was just the pitches, every pitch and every play. And it was so delightful to watch the game in high definition with a bird's eye view on the pitch. And it just, oh man, it brought out the best parts of the ball game. And then I started to understand the game more. And then I started to enjoy it more. Now, when I was a kid, I played Little League Baseball, of course. But, yeah, I'll move across here. I played Little League Baseball, but I hardly understood anything. The Little League coaches didn't do anything to teach you really about the game, the strategy and whatnot. But, for example, when I was at, batting average or a hit, they didn't explain to me what a hit was. I thought a hit was when my bat connected with the ball. And it hit a fly ball out to the center field and fly out. I thought that was a hit. In my mind, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to hit the ball. And I'd never realized until I was an adult that that's not a hit. You hit the ball and you get on base, that's a hit. And then walking and getting on base is obviously not a hit. It does improve your on-base average, which I learned in Moneyball, that great movie with Brad Pitt and who's that funny guy? Oh, I thought that was a great baseball movie, one of my favorite. I learned more about baseball watching that movie than I ever learned before, but and you want to get on base, whether it's a walk or a hit. It's probably no difference to the manager. I suppose he prefers to hit because with a hit you can actually, hit. You can get some runs batted in. A guy on second can typically run all the way home with a single. If I just hit a single into the outfield and it's not caught, the guy on second base can easily run around the bases and get it home and run batted in. So this made baseball so much more interesting to me. I never knew there was so much, so much to it. And now I'm starting to get into football thanks to BYU's winning streak and their quarterback Bear Buckmeyer. I just have a wonderful time watching him. And even last year when they had, what was the guy's name? Retzloff. I was starting to get into football then, after having not watched football for decades. But now I even make a point to go watch the Tulane games. Okay. And so interesting. Tulane. And then I came to know Tulane in my JFK assassination conspiracy studying for, I guess it was right down near New Orleans. And it kind of played heavily, and not real heavily, but played a little bit into the story. And so I even like tuning into Wrestleoff now. Kind of wish he was still with BYU, but Bear Buckmeyer and his brother Tiger, I love watching those two. And I think it's great when either Tiger runs a punt return or catches a pass from his brother. I assume Bear's the older brother. I really don't know that for sure. I guess they have an older brother that played sports too as well. Very athletic family. But anyways, this weekend it doesn't look like I'm gonna get any BYU football. So, and then because I've been watching so many sports, this lately, interesting things are popping up on my feed. Like, for example, in 1970, I think it was November of 1970, the very first Monday Night Football. And I think it was only highlights of that. And then I saw, was it that game or another game? I was watching something about Roman Gabriel, the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. I never knew he was born of Asian parents. Was it Filipino parents? Oh, he's a tall guy, like 6'5". Very handsome guy. I remember him making appearances on all kinds of television shows, like Bewitched and things that I was watching in the 70s. In fact, my first dog, I named him Gabriel, after Roman Gabriel. So anyways, that dog got run over, unfortunately. We didn't have a lot of luck with our pets, but anyways, I got to my car, so I'm gonna do one quick 360 and let you take in the scenery. And another beautiful day. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Let's see if I can see the moon. The moon behind me, right there. Is that the moon? Is that the moon behind me? Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, so thanks for listening. Bye-bye.